Welcome back to Sister Change, where we bring you planet and people conscious conversations. I'm Tammy, and I'm excited to welcome back Edyta today. Edyta is a special guest of ours here to conclude our mini series on travelers' wellness. Edyta, why don't you give us a quick introduction for those who are joining us for the first time and may have missed our previous episodes?
Hey, Tammy, thank you very much for having me again. And it's super exciting to be back. I'm Edyta Satchell, America's travel wellness expert. That's what they call me on TV. And what we do, we support travelers and we help them to be healthy and well before, during, and after travel.
Thank you so much. And for those who missed it, in our previous conversations, Editor gave us some wonderful tips about how to prepare for your trip prior to traveling, as well how to take care of your well-being during the trip. We'll link those in the playlist below, and so you can access the previous episodes. So be sure to check it out. Meanwhile, today we'll close out the conversation by discussing what to do after we return from our travels. Some of us who travel often may already have our own rituals, but for some of us who probably don't because we're coming back and we're jumping into chores or we're already planning for our next trip. So, with that, I'd like to take this opportunity to jump right into my first question for you, Edita. What are three to do tips for event attendees when they return from traveling?
Amazing question. I know I shouldn't be saying amazing question because all your questions are amazing, but I always say that after travel is equally important as the before and the during travel, right? Many times we make mistakes, or a common mistake that we make is we come home from a trip, whether it's a 1 week trip, 1 day trip, and what do we do? Immediately get into our emails. So I want to just share very quickly one thing. I would like to ask you to basically block your calendar. When you are
Mm,
booking your trip, book your calendar also. So even before you take off, right? Before you travel, block your calendar for that recovery time.
mhm,
Okay, super important. So then it means there is no rush, people are not emailing you, they're not asking you for help, you don't have to answer emails and so on. That's one of those things that we I highly recommend to everyone. The second thing is when you come back home, check on your family,
mhm,
check on your loved ones. How are your loved ones? Like, how is your significant other? How are your kids,
mhm,
grandchildren? I don't know, all your family members. And a family member of yours is also a pet. Check on your pets. Some of us
mhm,
will have to put our pets into, let's say, pet hotel, right? Or
mhm,
we drop them off at our friends. Check on our, little friends too, right? That's
mhm,
important as well. And what else I want to say for our try to do create a routine for our body, mind, and spirit. So I always one of the things is, and this is just an example of a mask, and I'm going to demonstrate whatever you do. This a particular one is it's automatically it will hit itself. You know
mhm.
what? Put it on. Oh my God! And then you are
So
still there,
relaxed.
but you are resting, relaxing,
Mm,
whatever it is. I just want you to find time for yourself, right?
mhm.
Like, sort of, I put it on, it's like the word doesn't exist. It's me time. You need that. I always say that travel takes a toll on our body, mind, and spirit. So you have to find that me time to recharge your body, mind, and spirit.
I love that. I love that. I think it is very important, and people underestimate how much when you're on the go and you're traveling and you're in airports and like the rush of just commuting is just so stressful, and sometimes we underestimate that. So I think it's really great that you suggest to block time in advance because then you don't have to rush, right? When you're coming back, you know, like, hey, I have the rest of the day or the afternoon or whatever to myself, which is great. My next question is similar, but specifically for event planners, right? For people who are traveling to an event to attend as an attendee, how is that different for event planners? Do you have different tips for people who are planning events and, you know, after they tear down the event and they come home, what are three things that you recommend event planners to do in addition to the three that you just suggested?
So, one thing that I want to point out to everyone, every single event planner, remember you also attended the conference, right?
Mhm.
But on top of it, you spent way more time. It's like if you are organizing once a year a huge conference, it's like you've been leaving this conference for a year.
Mhm.
It's exhausting,
Mhm.
absolutely exhausting. So, I want you to think about um, recovery moment for you and also blocking the time, but not like a traveler who attended it. Let's say I
Mhm.
came back at 3 p.m. and let's have the rest of the day sort of blocked. You need to block more time than just a couple of hours for the recovery rejuvenation, right?
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing. Be mindful of your own health and wellness and well-being as well. Another thing which I want to um, uh, recommend is I want you to debrief the human side of the conference, not just logistics, okay?
Mm.
And do not forget about you as well, because you are also important. You have your clients, internal, external, who attended the conference, but you are also super important. Your health and wellness is super important because if you are not healthy and well, you cannot organize those amazing events and conferences. So think about what moments energized you and
Mm.
supported you through the conference and enriched you, okay? And what moments, what things drained you. So
Mm.
it means you can then next time to try to change it, right? Or talk to the team and what can you do as a team to
Mm.
make it easier on all of you. It's very important, right?
Mhm. I love that, especially when we debrief events, we are often thinking about logistics, right? Like we're talking about the feedback numbers, what the attendees liked, and we rarely sit back to reflect on what we enjoyed as part of the event. So I love that suggestion, and I think it's very important, and I think it's great for us to put ourselves in the position of, as an event participant, even though we executed the event, it's great to look at it from an energizing perspective and also thinking about the things that give us um, joy and invigorates us to keep doing what we do, right? This is such a special job. I'm sure there's a reason why we do this. So I think definitely a great tip and takeaway. My next question for you is, what's a passport to bliss tip different than those we've just discussed for lasting holistic well-being?
Passport to bliss.
Mhm.
In, think about that from the perspective of a lifestyle.
Mhm.
Many times we do something because we have to. Many
Mhm.
people say, I enjoy what I do, but do you really enjoy it?
Mhm.
And if you enjoy it, then there is no downtime moment at all. It's
Mhm.
always the best of the best possible moments, right?
Mhm.
I want you to think about creating routines. So if you are organizing a conference and you do this once a month or once a year,
Mhm.
schedule this into what I'm trying to say, like routines. So let's say the
Mhm.
conference is always once a year, and it's a huge conference, let's say in July. Have those sort of monthly routines
Mhm.
that you are, and I'm sure you do, but you probably are focused so much on the logistics of it versus health and wellness of your emotional wellness, your career wellness, your
Mhm.
intellectual wellness. You care about everybody else but yourself. So I want you to think about those habits that you can incorporate, right? When I mentioned when you come back home, think about what enriched you,
Mhm.
what amazing moments did you have, what aha moments did you have, right? Use those moments now to plan your next one. But again, your health and wellness, your well-being routines, habits, as you are preparing for the, let's say, next year conference or next month conference, right?
Mhm.
So I don't want to say start planning early. No, it's not about that, right? But make it in the way that it works on your schedule as well. Do not forget about your health and wellness.
Mhm.
Nourish your body, nourish your spirit, nourish your mind in all possible ways. Um, and so that it works for you, because if you are rested, relaxed, energized, empowered, the conference will always be amazing. If you are exhausted, we forget about
Mhm.
this, right? If you are
Yeah.
exhausted, your energy is down, you know
Mhm.
what, your clients will feel it too, right? You want
Mhm.
it to, the energy to be amazing, and
Mhm.
that's how they want to see it and feel it and admire it and come back.
Amazing. I love the way that you're using the word nourish because I think truly events are enriching for us academically, professionally, but the part about events is bringing people together and nourishing our spirit and our soul, right? Like that's ultimately the point we do events. And that's the biggest takeaway when people feel when they really had a great experience as an event. So I love that. From the nourishing perspective, I'm going to kind of segue over into my last question because we focus on, planet conscious events as well. So from a sustainability aspect, when we're thinking about sustainable travel and sustainability, well-being, can you share about how you as the founder of Finelle and their tools, how are they evolving to account for climate change and being more mindful about sustainability?
So you can look, and I totally understand the climate change and so on, right? But I want
Hmm.
to take it to put a different sort of angle, a different spin
Yeah.
to it. Because every time we travel, our climate changes.
Hmm.
So when I live in the Washington, D.C. area, there is some kind of a climate, right?
Hmm.
I travel somewhere else, there is a climate change. I know you are talking about it from the standpoint of sustainability and so
Hmm.
on. So I want you to look from that sustainability standpoint, but also put a different angle to it. How are we impacting and how are we changing our environment, our
Hmm.
our climate when we travel, right? In the travel industry,
Hmm.
we talk about the footprint, the carbon footprint, and so on, right? But
Hmm.
in when we are flying, using hotels or etc., etc. But you know what? There are certain things that we are also impacting through us, through what we do, and I want you to think about that. Uh, when you think about it from your own perspective, but also educating your travelers, right? How to
Hmm.
prepare to those climate changes from the traveler standpoint when it comes to health and wellness. I'm talking about this one, right?
Hmm.
And many of your travelers, and guilty as charged, but then I failed in a way because I didn't know. And when I attended conferences, no one told me about it. Uh,
Hmm.
climate changes. Uh, so, for example, we went to a conference, and me living in Washington, D.C., to Lake Tahoe, right? And
Hmm.
again, I'm not talking about sustainability, I'm talking about the climate change, where we went there, and you know what? I had a nosebleed because I
Mm,
wasn't
yeah.
I wasn't used to it.
Hmm.
So we are aware of the sustainability, climate changes in that concept. But what
Hmm.
about health and wellness when we travel and the climate always changes for us?
Hmm.
Our daily routine is disrupted. We
Hmm.
have long travel days. We
Yeah.
have increased stress, anxiety, right? And the
Hmm.
climate, we're exposed to new climate. We are exposed to new environment. We are exposed to new, even fruit, veggies, the food we are eating.
Hmm.
All of this impacts us. And your job, in a way, your role is to help your travelers to go through that climate change in a travel way, traveler well-being way, in a way too. So you need to help them and educate them as much as you can. I know we are here, this conversation is all about sustainability and so on, but I want to give everyone some food for thought and
Hmm.
look at it from that different perspective as well.
I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Edita. I think it's always great to take things from multiple angles and different perspectives. And you're absolutely right. When we travel a lot of times to destinations, the environment is completely different. We may or may not be used to it. And we underestimate the impact that it has on our bodies, right? Like you said, you got a nosebleed because the environment was completely different. So, this, goes back to some of the packing tips that you gave us in the first episode, right? Like things that you should think about when you're planning for your trip. So, I think that's wonderful to take that spin on that last question. Before
That's
we
right.
wrap,
I will tell you,
yeah,
Tom, just to add it, I felt
hmm,
so bad, the nosebleed, the headache, the everything
yeah,
else. And many people ignore those symptoms and they
mm,
just don't know what to do. They think they are sick.
yeah,
They just don't realize how the new environment is impacting their overall health. Anyway,
hmm.
I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that's something that we definitely should be taking note of when we travel. Absolutely. Um, I think those are all the questions I have for you. Before we wrap up, Edita, do you have any parting thoughts?
I want to thank you for actually having this amazing podcast and inspiring people for doing what, inspiring them with new ideas, new
Mhm,
destinations, new ways of organizing those conferences, events, and taking care of themselves as,
mhm,
as much as they take care of other people as well. As
mhm,
much as, like I always say, if you are happy, healthy, productive, your
mhm,
event will be amazing, right?
mhm.
And if you don't mind me saying, um, we talked about my book. I know it's a
Mhm.
little bit of self-promotional, but you know where to find it. If
Yep.
anyone is ever interested, I'm happy to. We created an after travel checklist
Mhm.
with over 100 different items to take a look at that. So if you are listening to this episode, please drop us a note
Mhm.
and I will be happy to give it to you. You can also follow me on Instagram. That may be the best way too.
Mm.
Comment in comments on YouTube or comment on the platform. Wherever you will comment, we will find you, and I'm happy to give it to you, our after travel checklist.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And like Edita said, in the description below, you'll have access to all of the resources that Edita mentioned today, as well as the link to purchase her book on Amazon. And we'll also link the her YouTube channel and her Instagram social media pages as well. And with that, I'd really like to thank you, Edyta Satchell, for again joining us for this three-part mini-series on travelers wellness. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and have those notifications turned on so you don't miss future content like this. And as always, thank you for sipping with us.